Today I'm going to show y'all my business landing page. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a link to it, and you guys can. I'm encourage anyone to like build it out, make it your own thing. Want to show people what I'm doing. Want to offer as much value as I can at this point in my journey. Okay, so hopping in with the Notion page, title it page, very original. If you don't know what Notion is a note-taking software. You put the dash and it gives you this big list of options. I really like the to-do list option. I really like scroll all the way down here and you get this toggle heading option. I really like using this toggle. You have 3 different sizes of them and you can kind of embed them in each other. I find that useful. Ask lists, but they also it has a lot more functionality. The Notion is a deep rabbit hole. Just wanted to give you a little basic introduction to it. I have tasks. This is so everything at the top of your list of priorities can just be easily accessible. Then we go down into the study and master plans. Main objective 1, 2, and 3. I just find that 3 is a good amount of things to keep rotating between. So then I have study efficiency, which in my document I listed a bunch of tips and tricks and stuff. When I had a good day, I really paid attention to like what that good day was and what made it a good day. Put that all into study efficiency because that's really what my main objective is to get good at having a good day more often. Then it goes down into your community section where I have a calendar here so you can plan out different things. Community becomes its own thing that has its own task list, about researching its own little things like thumbnails and titles and stuff like that. It becomes its own beast. So it deserves its own thing here. Your niche here, I think that focusing in is really important. I have my own philosophy of dedicated to the path that you're on and dedicated to the pivot if it's necessary. And that's going to deserve its own section that I think should be pronounced, so not inside of a page. In Notion, you can have stuff inside of a page, and that's what all these next things that are coming up are. So we'll just run through these real quickly. Goals, just any goals that you have, like what are the stars that you're reaching for. Roadmap. A roadmap is just to me like your 5-year plan, or like what's coming up even in the next 6 months, next month, next week or 2 weeks. In mine, I did it week 1 and 2, and then so specialist study so that you can get a good grasp on the landscape, start coming to your own conclusions about what's going on. Use cases, I'll just open it up really quick and show you. Makes money, gets leads, saves time, saves money, makes media / runs account. So for me, this was a helpful way to brainstorm. When I was hearing ideas, I'd be like, ooh, that's an idea that makes money. AI fields. So thinking about like what are those things that you could go into niche, like broader things that you could niche down into. If you really wanted to get specialized with the chat bots or the voice-based agents or the text-based agents, to be transparent about where I even got a lot of these ideas from is from Liam Otley, this guy, and some of his stuff is like could be maybe not super valuable to everybody who's starting out. You don't get trapped. So there's a point where the knowledge, you can't get any more knowledge almost. It's like you're ready to take action. Sometimes it can be hard, especially because the YouTube algorithm is really good and it's going to pull you into videos that are like good and intriguing and controversial, and they're gonna piss you off and make you happy and all this stuff. They're good at controlling you, so you got to break away sometimes. You got to say, okay, I've watched enough YouTube content about something enough to be able to say, all right, now this is what I want to focus in on, some technical stuff. You want to be your own boss, and YouTube will try to be your boss. It's to be like, hey, now you watch this video. For business aspects, there's going to be a point where you transition from studying into like running a business. And this is what that is: sales, marketing, lead gen. And I highlighted those because those ones are super important. Branding is also important. Client satisfaction, getting your legal right, getting your pricing right. All this stuff's very important. And the list goes on. Each exploration page is for when you figured out a few of these things that people are doing with this, a few avenues that are going on. You're debating which one you want to do. What are you leaning towards? That's where you kind of can write all that stuff and explore that. few. So the last few are educational and social links, so you can track all the LinkedIn's and the YouTubes and the school communities, Reddit communities, helpful websites, stuff like that. First clients, case studies, and free consulting. I'm thinking about like what's the first point that you're gonna take action at. So when is this like what's the turning point when this becomes like you're not studying anymore and this becomes a business venture? So that's what that's about. Note Center is there, so you take the course, you make a page for the course or the YouTube video that you're watching, and you take notes on that. So it's a good place you can reference it later, come back to it, read it the next day. Last one, the Commonplace book. So in the Commonplace book, I just find like quotes and stuff that like I find useful, stuff that like techniques that I think can be summed up in a few words or whatever, that I just kind of put them in a row, and I'm just like, okay, that's good. Yeah, so that's it. That's the AI workspace. Schedule a call with me. I'll have a link in the description where you guys can like pick a time, and we can like have a little meeting. I'm going to be posting more educational content, just different stuff that I learned that I think is valuable. This AI thing is becoming, it's everybody, bosses are asking their employees, they're saying, hey, look, can you make something with AI that helps our business run better? So whoever you are out there, if you're trying to make your business run better, you're trying to understand, how are you going to do this? How are you going to make this business happen?